I mean, I think it's basically like generic music anyway, right?
Saturday night's main event is probably, I think that was made by Prince. That might be like some fancy. That might have been the last. He remixed it before he died.
They pulled it out of the vault that day.
It was
It was in Prince's vault.
Prince's vault. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Yeah, he started making arena rock. He started making 80s arena rock. And
this is what he started off with. He had the jeans. He cut 2 butt cheeks out of it, plopped them out, and then he's like, That's it.
Yeah.
And there we go.
And then he had a bunch of Jehovah's Witness pamphlets.
Speaking of Jehovah's Witness,
every week what we'll do is we'll yell at each other like wrestling. Like, I'll see you next week. What the hell is that?
Okay, it's the Grudge. We got the Grudge in here.
Poltergeist. Caroline.
Caroline.
Going to the light, Caroline.
A test of fortitude, a test of strength. We've got Monday Night Raw. This is week 3. I'm here with the super group, the super team. Louis, we've been using you as a way to tap in to the regular schmegular, does not watch the content.
People who are uninterested in pro wrestling.
Right. I'm still haven't been zazzed. I'm still not.
You've been zazzed by Jey Uso a bit. Jay zazzed you.
To be fair, I can't remember anything from the episode that I watched tonight.
Okay, well, a good thing because
So
Lou wrote down notes, which I was very.
Wow!
Right, that's what I said. I said this motherfucker wrote down notes.
Well, because I don't know these people, and I don't have the greatest. I'm ADHD.
Yeah, but it's almost better if you don't do notes because you're.
Well, I wasn't.
You
in
don't
depth.
care enough about.
I wasn't. These are just notes to jog my memory. So my first note is: fat chick assaults Rhea Ripley.
Yes, this whole intro lasted about 3 minutes, and it went until.
I don't even have that in my notes, but apparently that was a thing.
She came. Rhea Ripley came out. They're doing those intros, people walking in with their baggage and shit like that.
Yeah.
She got her ass beat. Okay, not a great start for your world champion to get her ass beat. So that happened.
I mean, did she get her ass beat, or did Nia just want a hug?
I don't know how to answer that question. She got her ass beat, though. I can tell you that. Okay, so this leads into Jey Uso. They don't do a drone shot this time. They do just a wide pan shot. I can tell you, they've been clouding sold out arenas everywhere they go. It looks sold out. It looked like there was fucking packed full of people. So good on WWE doing their thing. They bring out Jey Uso. If you're going to do a big wide shot of everybody, you bring out the Uso. Lou, you said you had a good impression of Jey Uso.
Yes, but when I figured out that Gunther was had the belt, I knew he was going to win this fight. I knew there was no way he would lose the belt, because there's so much more going on.
Why can't Jey win the belt?
Not yet. I can see him winning the belt at the end of the year or something like that. I think there's going to be a lot more build-up. Just understanding how this business works, with the storytelling and everything.
He's not going to take this belt from me.
And I also said for this one, my notes were fight looked cheap, bad punches. But I was impressed that it ended where Jay had a bloody lip. So something real actually happened, whether it was on accident or not.
Bit his lip too hard.
Yeah.
Hungry. He's got that Siberian blood in him. I felt like the whole promo was kind of boring. You said last week, I said everything he said was right. This week, everything he said must have been wrong because I zoned out.
It was still technically correct.
I zoned
out.
It
It was
was
boring.
Yeah, it was boring as fuck. I like Gunther.
What I have here is Jay sounds like a child.
Yeah,
he literally pouts. So he literally has a line that says what did he say? He said, "I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna take your belt, and then I'm gonna hang it up in my room."
Well,
I'm gonna put it next to my trophies and next to my WWE pennant.
Also, exactly. I notice how when I mean storytelling.
Yeah.
So he loses a fight, but then didn't Gunther put his belt on the ring? Or no, Uso took the belt from him.
It fell off.
So he put the belt in the ring and was telling him, "Come and get it." And then Gunther walks up and just grabs the belt and storms off, almost like he was having a tantrum. But it's clearly there's more story.
Fuck you, it's mine.
Yeah, but there's so much more story. I can tell that they.
Are you doing a Schwarzenegger?
Well, he's Austrian, so.
Okay.
In my mind,
I like it.
in my mind, he's
Keep
just
going.
he's just
Make,
Arnold
he is
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, keep going, Lou. What were you saying?
No, the way it's obviously more storytelling because he grabbed the belt and stormed off like he was pouting. Like I know there's just so much more to this what they're drawing out between the two of them.
There are certain rules. What are the rules? There are certain rules about being a heel, and one thing is that you just don't give the crowd what they want.
No.
So of course we all want him to go and say "fuck you," grab the belt and go beat his ass. But since he's a heel, it's like no. When you pay me money, I'll do it. You know, fuck this.
I mean, sometimes you give the crowd what they want.
As a heel?
Sometimes.
Well, yeah, okay, sure.
But
sometimes.
but then once you realize that the crowd really wants that's when you don't do it anymore.
No, but here's the thing though. Remember when Gunther was it last week where Gunther was laughing at him?
Yes.
So like he wasn't getting to him. This week he got in under his skin. You see what I mean?
And here's the thing: the show is this Saturday.
So
Yeah.
you're saying that possibly
This is their last interaction before they meet. This is what you call. What do you call this? A walk off. Go home.
Go home.
A go home show.
so they have one more. He has one more chance to win the belt from him.
No, it just means like if SummerSlam or one of the big pay-per-views is coming up this Saturday,
Yeah.
this Monday Night Raw is the go home show before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but this isn't a pay-per-view. This is Saturday night's main event,
Yeah.
which is like one step below a PLE. So it's more of a glorified episode of Raw or SmackDown.
Whenever
So-
Gunther fights, he can lose his belt.
Not any time,
mean-
but this time, yes.
I mean, according to the rules.
So could he have lost it tonight?
Universe thing. No.
That's not a fight.
He
That
didn't.
wasn't
He
a
didn't
sanctioned
defend his.
fight.
He didn't.
It wasn't
defend-
a sanctioned
Didn't
fight.
defend his title.
See, I know that's what I
was
never
a
understand.
promo.
Yeah,
they were
I know-
they were just talking to each other and then they scrapped.
Yeah, unless you see a referee out there with a ding, ding, ding.
they scrapped for a while though.
Yeah, but there wasn't
So?
no referee.
I thought it was a real. It was a
No,
sanction.
that was not a match.
Okay, well,
What do you think? You think I fight in a suit?
You know,
You think I'm unprofessional to
Didn't,
fight in
that
a
is an
suit?
Who was that,
uncanny
the $1 million
impression of Gunther. It's uncanny.
Yeah,
The
it's
$1 million
something.
man. Didn't he like come in a suit? What was his
He
name?
never wrestled in the suit.
Adam Pierce came out and broke them up, I believe. No, did he? It doesn't matter. It goes. This thing goes on for like 8 minutes or like 8 minutes.
That's a long time.
At 15 minutes, we go to the New Day and JBL backstage.
Yeah.
Okay, I have that.
I have all I have written down is New Day try to bribe JBL with $2.
I have black men try to scheme with cowboy, no results.
That's a keen observation. I mean, how'd you feel about the two black guys? Did they make an impression on you? Like, oh, those guys are sinister.
No, like I said, the one
Sinister.
Sinister.
yeah,
The
no,
New Day Sinister
Kofi, right? That's his name.
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, so he's like another person where I'm like, man, he's small to do this. Because what I remember of wrestling, because it used to come on like Saturday, like after Saturday cartoons, I think, or in the afternoon.
Yeah,
I'm
Saturday
talking like
Superstars.
Yeah, I'm talking like the 1980s, late 80s or very early 90s. They were all huge. Like all those guys were huge. And now that I'm watching it now, I'm like, there's so many small people.
It's very
Yeah.
small.
And so
Well, get ready for this match. What is it? Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio?
well, I know, and yeah, well, and which had so many. From what I can tell, or what we noticed was like, so many things could have went wrong because of his small size. Like you know what I mean? Like a lot of shit failed. Like they had a lot of botched stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you talking about this match?
Yeah, with Kofi and Mysterio, right?
Before we get to the match, we got Bailey. They do the Rey Mysterio intro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They do
That's
the Rey
right.
Mysterio
I
intro.
I have a note for this too.
Yeah, the gobbledygook
Now that Bailey is on Raw,
accent.
she can have one-on-one matches with fresh new opponents, like Nia Jax.
Yeah. My note was fat chick talks smack to flat face.
Flat fake. I mean,
So how many matches has Bailey had with Nia Jax in the past year on SmackDown?
only like 40.
Only like 90% of her matches are with Nia Jax, and it's like, I'm on Raw now. I'm going to be in the Royal Rumble.
That's what she declared.
and
She
and
declared
I'm going to
that.
fight the same person I've been fighting forever.
Listen, here's my question as a booker. Okay, you only met a couple of the artists, so it might not be as applicable to you. But let's say if you have to book this, and what you have to book as a booker is Nia Jax has to come off powerful in this episode of Raw. She has to come off as a beast because it's going to take 4 people to throw her over the rope, and we have to sell her as the Andre, as the, you know what I'm saying, for the women. So how would you book her to look strong today? Who would you ever beat? The one chick from the LWO? That's not going to really, you know.
Who would I have her beat?
Yeah. And Bailey is a trusted name that can take that L. You gotta make her look. She beat the women's champions ass backstage, and she beat Bailey.
You can put her in a match against anybody in the roster as long as you book the match properly.
Yep, but she has to beat someone that's been a world champion. That's what I'm saying. She can't beat just anybody. She gotta beat. Look, she beat old girl's ass. What's your girl's name?
Ripley.
Rhea Ripley. She beat Rhea Ripley's ass. Then she went out and beat a world champion. That's how you make her look strong. I think it did it, but you know I don't give a fuck about Nia Jax though. This led in before their match. It led into the New Day versus them. They come out. Rey Mysterio botch.
A lot of botches. First of all, I was almost bored. Well, that was the only thing interesting about the fight. Otherwise, to me it was just so standard and typical from what I've seen. But like right off the bat, there was he failed some kind of a move, and then he just shoved Mysterio from the back. Like he just shoved him from behind, like almost out of just like defeat. Like he couldn't do the move. This is like right in the beginning of the match.
Yeah, you said something about it, and it still went in one eye and out the other eye.
And then there was remember the bad choke? He was choking Mysterio really bad, like in the corner of the ring, and it looked so fake. And then he started kicking him in the shoulder. Like it just everything. It was like corny. Like it was.
It's crazy that you have this many botch memories because I got the one botch memory, and that was him.
The body slam where he.
He put him between him for what do you call that? Power like.
The powerbomb botch.
And
Yes,
slipped out the Jerry Curl juice, bro. Slipped right out of him, and then tried to play it off. I mean, like they're doing live theater on stage, so
and also
it's improv to some extent.
And I thought the other thing, I thought it was noticeable that Mysterio was holding back too, like it felt like he was being extra careful, and like.
What you mean?
Like I don't know, like he wasn't really going at it, or
neither one of them are really going to go at it.
Wait. Who did he go against?
Mysterio, right?
Yeah.
He was up against Kofi Kingston.
Oh, okay. I forgot already. That match was kind of boring.
Oh, okay. I wrote down New Day heal it up on their way to the ring.
Oh, they botched the end too when Mysterio tapped him out, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. When they actually won.
Wait. Who won?
Kofi won. Wrestling fans.
No, Mysterio won.
Kofi won.
Mysterio won, right?
I don't even.
But he did that flip.
I didn't write the ending.
I have.
Yeah, Mysterio won.
I thought.
You remember he got Kofi where his leg was up in the air and he botched that. It was Kofi, I think, that mostly botched it. Like, but Mysterio had to like compensate. He pinned him out where he had Kofi's leg up like that.
Yeah, I think what was it like? Xavier got thrown out of the match, right?
Oh,
you mean
fucked up? Yes, that was great. I love that he got thrown out. He starts going crazy.
Was that when they had the accidental, like when Mysterio hit the ropes? Kofi's buddy was there and accidentally touched him, so it was considered.
That should have been disqualification.
Probably
in the story, disqualification. And the referee was looking dead at him. But regardless,
And then after Mysterio wins.
Then they start beating his ass.
Yeah, they start beating his ass. Then Mysterio's buddies jump in.
Yeah, LWO.
And I wrote down blacks beat on Mexicans out of spite, which nearly incites a race riot for a white man's entertainment.
Yeah.
That's the classifications. The blacks, the Mexicans. That's how Triple H sees them. So you know what I'm saying.
I got New Day heal it up on their way to the ring and take their money back from JBL.
They did. We didn't talk about JBL.
And then, I have one note about JBL, and that is, so at the beginning of the match, he's begrudgingly rooting for Rey Mysterio because New Day are acting like dicks, right? By the end of the match, he completely forgets all about it, and he's just straight up heel commentator. he's just talking about how much, he's just like justifying everything that they're doing, and
I tuned out of that match, but I feel like, having JBL there should have been a bigger deal. Not because he himself is a super big deal, but just
No, the only reason why he's there because he's been doing a lot of work for TNA, right?
Yeah.
So it's just kind of to signal to people that hey, there might be some TNA people.
Yeah, I'm still plugged in down here.
I'm expecting to see He Who Shall Remain Nameless. Because if you say his name, he appears. Appear at the Royal Rumble.
I'm not too excited for him. I don't want to say his name. Okay, so look, they botched the ending, and then the LWO save Rey Mysterio from getting his ass beat, and one of the LWO members gets his ass beat and thrown up against a pole. He was laid out. So,
I couldn't tell. He had a ripped up shirt, and I was like, wait, did they rip that up while they're doing the scuffle, or is that his style? It looked like his shirt was just...
Wait, hold on.
No one cares about the LWO. Louis doesn't care about the LWO. It's not going to get any new fans from any people watching new. Go ahead.
What was the... Okay, so you have the garbage man, right?
Sami Zayn.
Okay,
The
so...
Trash Man.
What was that? He comes out into the ring just to talk, and then Kevin Owens is his name.
Okay,
I
so
said he looks like
so
a bearded pig, but like...
There's history there.
Okay, well, I figured that because his musical cue... I wrote down, musical cue causes garbage man to make stupid face.
Can you be more specific?
Like obviously it's like it was supposed to be like, whoa, the music, I know what that is, and now I'm going to sit here and look stupid.
Sami Zayn
like,
has been trying to craft his place for a long time, and if you go by his little WrestleMania appearances, like the last 8 years have all been him and KO. KO lost at WrestleMania to like Seth Rollins, but he did that jump off the fist when they had nobody during the COVID era.
Yeah.
So he kept doing these things at WrestleMania, like both of them. So Sami Zayn is like a dude who, I don't know, in his own eyes, obviously he sees himself as a main eventer, but in Vince, no, he wasn't.
Not knowing any of the history, the whole thing bored me. The Owens guy was like stammering, like he was having trouble finding his place when trying to improv, and then he finally got into it. But I was like,
I think that was him trying to act. The stammering parts.
I don't know how much he memorizes, like as far as his lines go. If the script is kind of like a basic script, bring up this. Remember to mention that, and he has to fill in the blanks, and it felt like he was like struggling to get to that point.
He's known as a talker, so
he wasn't doing very well.
I still feel like they write his scripts. I don't think that they're letting these motherfuckers just go out there, because they'll say that about someone like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like, oh, in the '90s they used to just let them just go, but in today's more.
I think it was more scripted back then because they were on like regular TV, like network broadcast television. Maybe they had cable events, but we never had cable, so like they had to watch themselves more back then. So I think it was like way more scripted back then.
I would say that they have a script, but they could, if you're feeling it's like, yeah.
Well, there's points.
Because they don't want me to do.
There's just like points to hit on, but you fill in the blanks.
I think
it's
less scripted now, and it also depends on.
You think it's less scripted now?
I think so. Yeah, because I've seen.
I think there's more story beats, but I think that it's a lot more about bringing individuals' personalities out.
I kind of know from
more than the micromanaging. That
Roman Reigns cut a promo where he was like, "You suffering succotash sucker ass,"
you think he wrote that?
No, that's what I'm saying. Everything is written. No. He wouldn't have wrote that. That's stupid.
Yeah, that was Vince McMahon.
No, that was the same product being written. The times right now, and when that happened was what, 5 years ago, 6 years ago? Like, this is the same shit they're writing.
No.
You think that Vince left, and then it's like, let's write less. Let's just.
I think that because of Roman Reigns' position in the company, he was allowed to, like, later on.
I think it needs to be scripted more.
Paul Heyman isn't just his mouthpiece. He has an intricate role in building the story itself.
I get that. But still, they said this would be smarter for you to stop talking because you only have 2 notes. Those are his only 2 modes, other than occasionally laughing. But when he's acting, he only has 2 modes. He's a terrible promo. The only thing that he does good as promo is, I guess, when he's Jay, what did you just say? And he does that same face.
So
He does
then,
the same thing.
Then let me ask you something. Why would they change anything if up to that point they considered Roman Reigns a top star anyway?
Because the man who owned the company, he considered him the top star. So
Yes.
whatever was happening, Vince was going to rewrite the script and go, no, he's winning. The writers would be like, yeah, let's have Dolph Ziggler. No, we're going to put Roman in.
Well, no, the writers wouldn't even be saying that.
I mean, you get what I'm saying. But we are deferring. Lou, I want to get back to you because that one turned into we would have had a whole podcast just about that one. Before we had Sammy and KO, I don't know, they did a PeterPromo.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever seen the movie Gangs of New York?
Yeah. That was
John?
Scorsese, right?
Yeah.
Scorsese.
With the Irish and the 5 Points of New York. Gangs of New York, you ever see it?
I've never.
Okay, well, there's a character in it who has monster fucking shillelagh, and every time he kills someone with it, he carves a notch in it. And I realized, because I'm like, that's a shillelagh. But then I saw this little goofy prop that Sheamus had. I'm like, there's nothing intimidating about that thing at all. Like, it looks like it would break. Like, a shillelagh had like a chunk of lead in the like that they would put lead in the end of that ball on the top. But like even the stick, it looked like something you get from like a Halloween store. So that was my thought on that. And then
I put down Sheamus needs to learn how to speak English because I couldn't understand what he was saying, and Braun Breaker needs to speak up because he was so like he
they do that. Yeah,
you can't
Do you
hear
think
him,
he
and
was
then
a
gets real
badass?
loud.
Do you think he was a badass?
Who?
Braun Breaker. Did he give off badass vibes? Did he give off the energy, or was it weak?
I mean, I would use those two words to describe him. Just not
No,
in that
yeah,
order.
no, he was a joke. Look, in real life,
He was a joke.
No, in real life, if you saw the two of them in a bar about to throw down, you would bet 900% on Sheamus.
Yes.
Like he's like scary look. I would not want to, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Is it 'cause
Like
of his skin?
when you think of like
because
a
the pigment of
big
his
Irish
skin.
fucking thug that would that could take on 5 guys at one time, that's Sheamus. And then I think we went from that to the announcement that Bob Uecker died. I'm not sure when he died, but he died in the 2025. And I thought he had been dead for 15 years, so that was like my thought on that, or probably 20. I can't remember.
I too thought he was already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Bob Uecker.
But yeah, man. Shout out to the family and you know, sorry for all the bad things that might be going on. But hey, shout out to this guy. He got choked out by Andre the Giant. You know what I'm saying? So you know.
Yeah, you should pull up the clip and show Louis.
What?
The goofy face Bob Uecker made when Andre the Giant choked him out.
Choked his ass.
He
out.
literally goes like this.
Yeah, well, yeah, because he.
Look, we got Nia Jax versus Bailey, bro. We're at 1 hour and 1 minute into the show. The whole show is 2 hours, and I didn't even clock the ending. I'm gonna say 2:45. So you know we're an hour and a minute in. We got Nia Jax versus Bailey.
Okay,
Seen it.
Let's assume that we want people. We're pretending that wrestling is real, and that they are athletes.
No, we aren't. We aren't because the entire crowd knows it's fake.
I know they are, but you still pretend.
Yeah, you pretend to.
Otherwise you wouldn't be cheering.
Yes.
So you're
Who's pretending?
Everyone. The audience is in on it.
Everybody.
I mean, maybe the
I don't
kids aren't.
understand. What do you mean?
Maybe the kids aren't in on it, but the idea is that you're getting hyped up for something that you know is fake, but it's part of. That's all part of it.
I've always said that wrestling is the only thing that like literally everybody knows is fake. The people in the ring know it's fake. The referee knows that it's fake. The commentators know it's fake. All the fans know it's fake. Everybody watching on TV knows it's fake. But everybody pretends that it's real.
I wouldn't say
Why is that-
everyone
but
knows
why is
it's
that
fake.
weird though?
Because you don't go to an Avengers movie and pretend that that's really happening.
Yeah, you do. Or else you wouldn't have an emotional
Well,
connection.
no, you-
When
you
Peter
have-
Parker,
no, no,
listen,
no,
when Tony Stark dies, you go,
I don't get sad because I think a man actually died.
the character.
Yes, because I'm
No,
invested.
here's the
in
thing:
character.
you can act out in a movie theater. You can connect emotionally,
regular theater.
but you do it quietly.
Well, you're not.
You don't want to disturb the
Oh my
people.
God, Tony!
Yeah, can you imagine?
I mean, but there's still a disconnect. You're not
Right.
watching it as if it's a documentary.
Right. Well, maybe if you're home alone, though. I mean, here's the thing: have you ever seen all those videos when people react to a trailer? They're acting like wrestling fans, right? Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah.
it's the
Well,
it's a
yeah.
fucking Millennium Falcon. Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know, and you want to stab him in the throat. But like, but the point I'm making is that
Millennium Falcon.
you have all these people like they look like athletes except for the fat chick, Jax. What's her name?
Nia Jax.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then I realized too, every time I've seen her in the 3 weeks that I've been forced to watch Monday Night Raw, every time I see
Oh
her,
I didn't force you.
Look at how fucking bad this is.
who cares? The 3 times that I've seen her now, she's just been fat and belligerent, and I realized that's all she's not athletic. She doesn't look athletic. She's fat. And I realized, oh, she's taking on like the belligerent personality just to like compensate for the fact that what else is she?
Maybe she's got muscle with the fat.
Not the way she moves. Like,
No.
look, I've seen a fat woman in like an old 1920s reel when they called it Vitaphone recordings, where they were testing out the Vitaphone company's sound, sound to film. So they brought in all these acts and stuff, and they had this woman named Helen Green, and she was like a big woman, and she starts. I think I've shown you it before. She starts tap dancing at the end, like really fast. And it shows her pans out, and you just see this fat woman going nuts, like tap dancing,
Yeah.
as if she was skinny. And it's super impressive because you would not think a big girl like that could do that. So I have not seen this Jax broad like demonstrate
No.
any kind of physical prowess. Like,
And then if you watch Piper Niven wrestle, it makes Nia Jax look like crap.
yeah. It's like they're. I was saying to him, it's like when you have Dancing with the Stars and they have someone on like Betty White or someone decrepit or obese, and so the professional dancer has to dance around them
Yes.
to make them look good.
Yeah.
That's what it feels
Well,
like.
Okay, but
yeah.
you're disrespecting because you have absolutely know how difficult, how hard that she works and she tries because she's The Rock's cousin. Okay, you know
I
how
don't-
hard it is to be The Rock's
I don't-
cousin.
I don't think
you have to
that's-
deal with like family reunions. You got to deal with people like, oh, you're Rock's cousin. She has to deal with that on a regular basis, bro.
I don't
Okay?
think I don't think he's disrespecting at all, considering that it's
As
been
an
a thing-
outsider.
it's been a thing in wrestling for a long time, where you have a massive wrestler who can't move all that well, and then other people have to wrestle around him to make it look good.
At this point, it's nepotism.
Look at some of the later Andre the Giant matches.
Yeah, which
Where,
they were
where
sad.
he could barely move at all. Like, they were all tag matches because he couldn't do anything in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
So the other guy had to do all the work, and then he would come in for the pin.
I think that also.
Yeah, at that
while
point,
I
he was just a freak. is
Okay,
what he-
but I was
Well, he
joking
was
earlier.
a
But
showcase.
Yeah.
here's the thing: she might be trained in a different style. Like how they say a lot of the big you might not know this, have heard this, but you know how they say the big oh my God, he doesn't move like a 300. They say that about every 300 pounder. Every Ivar, the other guy. The Samoan big guy who did the tsunami. Every guy they say, oh, but he doesn't move like he doesn't work like a 300 pounder. That's because they train a lot of the
they're
big
hyping him up.
wrestlers. No, because those guys literally go to the top rope. They
Yeah.
literally do runs. They'll do cartwheels. They'll do all this stuff that
Yes.
you're like, wait. But the 350-pound guy works like Earthquake, works like Typhoon, works like these old school wrestlers who, again, they walk like this. And then everything they project is big. Now, I'm not saying anything about her because I feel like she's not that great of an actress. But what I'm saying is she might have been trained from her get-go to present herself as not a fast and everything. She could, as a human, do this.
Well, I
but
don't know. Didn't
her
she used to be
character
skinny?
is to
But
be bigger and larger and
there
move
are-
slower.
Chris-
And all the things
so
she did is
Chris
is
Farley
exaggerated.
moves like when Chris Farley, who was a big fat guy, is more impressive when he would get spastic and do cartwheels and stuff.
Again, they've got WWE guys that do that.
Also, there are wrestlers that wrestle in an older style, but they still modernize it enough to work with modern styles.
Yeah, you have to.
Like, if you look at hate to bring AEW into this, but if you look at FTR, their whole thing was wrestling in an old style, and they became one of the best tag teams ever.
Okay, to back
And
me
they
up.
still wrestle with an old style, and it doesn't look bad, and there's no juxtaposition there.
She botched her own takedown and landed right on her tailbone.
Yes. And I thought
that was
that she was.
brutal.
I thought, yeah. I think I actually had
Like,
that.
so she's actually a danger
I
to
have that
herself.
down.
Listen, there's enough stuff of Nia Jax hurting other people from WWE exclusively, just in WWE.
What, on accident?
Yes, of her hurting.
Because she's fat. So she's a danger to herself and everyone
But
else.
bro, she's The Rock's cousin,
Well,
though, bro.
here's
You
the
don't
thing.
understand that, bro.
But here's the thing: she's not nearly as bad as she was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I saw-
when she was legitimately injuring people.
That's what I'm
yeah, I know. I
saying.
seen her. She had like a belly. She had like a literal pig belly.
I don't think her belly had to do with the reason why.
I'm just saying she was fatter.
She was just green.
Well, there was
she
like,
was just green. She didn't. She wasn't. I mean,
There was like
She was
one
in
point when
NXT, right?
Becky Lynch got like super over,
Mm-hmm.
and that happened partially because Nia Jax punched her in the face and broke her nose.
Here's another thing though too. Every time
leaking everywhere.
Jax was getting pinned, before she'd kick out or whatever, she just had this face like this, like she didn't even care. Like she wasn't acting like she was struggling or in pain. She just didn't care. I mean, it comes across
looks
as
bored.
Bored, yeah, lazy. Like so. I mean, I'm saying as an outsider looking in, physically she hasn't impressed me, and even with like her facial expressions or her acting in general, it's in and out. Like so, I just have not been
here's my
entertained by her
question.
the 3 times.
What would
I've
she
seen
have
her.
to physically do to impress you?
I don't know, complete one of her own moves without landing on her tailbone.
You know what would impress me? If she could walk up a flight of stairs without being out of breath.
Okay, come on.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Why not? Why don't they do that
okay,
test?
okay.
Maybe that should be like
Okay.
they should do that test.
I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm just saying like the way she carries herself in the ring, it sure looks like it.
Okay, listen. We've been talking about this match with these different things. Here's some things that I caught right in the beginning. Right when Bailey's coming out, she's yelling at this black. She's like, "Fuck you, go back to Africa." I was like, "Oh shit!" So then she's going down the aisle.
Did she say that?
No. And then this little baby. Did you see this little baby? He was about 3-4 years old.
I was
Oh,
not paying attention to
There was
this.
a mini Trump,
He looked like baby Trump. Had the
and
hair.
he gave her a thumbs down.
Yeah, he gave her a thumbs down. And she was like,
He had like the red hat and like a blonde wig on.
all right. She just kept it moving, like, all right, bitch. So she kept it moving. And, that was baby. Then Cora Jade is from NXT. They're giving her a rub. She's from the underground. NXT is underneath the main roster. So they're giving her a rub because she should be coming up. She's sitting in the crowd, blah, 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 blah. They do a scene where Cora gets grabbed up, and that's what I thought was interesting because they always, even when they have, like, people from the NFL or the NHL or whatever, they'll have them in the crowd, and then the person will do something to them, and then they'll hop over the guardrail
Yeah.
and do something. Even celebrities.
Yeah.
So this is a wrestler who tried to slap Bailey. Bailey blocked, and Blau, you saw it. And then when Corey tried to jump in there,
Yeah,
They're like, no, for the first time
for
ever.
the first time in WWE history, a security guard does their job.
Yeah, you know what's funny though?
that's so
You know,
wild to me.
you know what I said about that though? They can only do that with a woman. Like it would not be
Well, yeah.
believable for a security guard to grab a male wrestler and carry him away.
Here's-
I mean, in
Which-
theory, it could be because most of those security guards are actually
was one guy.
wrestlers.
Here's
was
my
one guy,
question.
though.
I don't know how much you guys
So,
watch.
that's just proof women aren't equal.
Do you guys watch UFC enough to know that there's like security guards? Are the security guards there?
With UFC, what's that? The actual.
UFC, yeah. Ultimate
act-
Fighting.
the real
interested-
fighting?
I'm not interested in real fighting.
Yeah. No, I never watched it.
You've never seen like a single pay per view?
No.
I
Well-
like my sports like I like my women.
I don't even have. I
Fake
haven't had
and not-
cable.
Not
like,
real.
I'm just telling you, the way they do it, like the referee in UFC. Oh, there's plenty of times where you had to grab up the wrestler or the fighter and choke him out because he's fucking up or he accidentally elbowed you, and they used to do them all the time because the referees are badasses and the security are badasses. But the problem with doing that with WWE is you can't have your security be tougher than the
Then the rest,
wrestlers.
yeah.
But-
That's my point. Like, if it was a male, they would have to use like to really put
They
on
do
the
that
show.
all the time, and he'll
they would
still
have to
beat
use
all their asses.
Yeah, you would still have to like use 5 security. I've seen that, but I have seen that before. Probably one time you were showing me something within the past 5 years where a bunch of security guys had to come, but it was all a big show they were putting on.
Right.
But one security guard grabs a woman. She's kicking. She's off the ground and kicking as he's just carrying her off. Like, that's enough out of you, ma'am. Like, okay.
I actually just had a note and it just says
It did
tailbone.
not. It
Tailbone,
did.
yeah.
It did not help women's live at all.
Look, he was doing a text or something like that, and we were skipping through all through this, not skipping, but just like whenever we got. But I saw that and I said, "Lou, I gotta rewind it back and show him the tailbone, because goddamn,
Yeah,
I
that-
mean, you know."
But
anytime she goes up to the top rope, it's going to be bad.
yes, it's nail biting.
It's going to be bad. And I thought that, like, I honestly, when she hit the mat, I thought, okay, this match is over.
But I also
put
thought
the X up.
Yeah.
Put the X up.
I also thought maybe she had enough
I'm like,
fat on her ass that
she
it
just,
cushioned
like,
it.
It looked like she probably, like, compressed 2 discs in her lower spine.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Like
that's,
anybody who takes a bump like that, and that's not even just like due to her weight or whatever.
Yeah.
Anybody who takes a
On their
bump
tailbone?
like that, it's got to be one of the most painful goddamn things.
I can't imagine. And she probably had the shit later too. Somebody spread her butt cheeks open. That was like a 19-minute match because at 1 hour and 20 minutes we got American Made. That's the Kurt Angle type motherfucker. What's his name?
Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, shorter dude. Did he fight last week? He fought last week against Penta.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
the wide. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his group.
He's my height.
Yes, we've established this.
And he came back there and he was talking to the Judgment Day. And I think that what he said to the American Made earlier in a segment we skipped, he told the person that they're going to talk to Dominic about someone that they can talk to about the luchador problem. So they go back and talk to Dominic, and Dominic's like, here you go. And he hands him a piece of paper, like, okay. And then when they leave, he's like, yeah, I just told him to go talk to this person about da-da-da. And actually, I forgot who he said.
That whole
forgot who
group,
he said.
that whole group is boring.
Judgment
Yeah.
Day?
Every week they do some stupid side bullshit.
You miss them in their heyday.
I put down more annoying banter between Dominic and Blonde.
Bro, the Judgment Day didn't have like a heyday like that, but I would say when they were doing stuff with this black dude named R-Truth, that shit was just I liked the comedy of that. And then when Rhea Ripley was really seducing Dominic, every time she'd come out to do a thing, she'd come and whisper something into his ear real quick, and then he.
Well,
would
she
be
did
like,
it better. Like
Yeah, it was when they were a group. That first group.
3 weeks.
Was
Yeah, the first episode we
somewhat-
did.
it
That was the fight I said was almost the best out of that.
I hate the Judgment Day.
But there's this blonde chick constantly talking about carrying my bags and blah. It's just like this is so stupid. And
Because
the acting's bad.
it's meant to implode because that blonde chick only took over the Judgment Day because she was trying to do a rib.
I know, but it's terrible.
on-
It's terrible
I know,
acting.
right? Well, so the question is, how do you book them? Okay, how do you book them dissolving?
Like, are they dating?
No, remember for some reason at the end of
He
the
keeps
thing,
asking, "Are you mad at me?" or some bullshit. I don't. It's
listen, because you saw it at the Raw premiere. The blonde chick who was dating Dominic,
oh yeah, that's what I mean.
she lost, and so he went in and tried to give old
with
girl a
Rhea,
hug.
yeah, and then she kicked him in the
Which
nuts.
is the dumbest shit ever. Why would you do that like in front of everybody and shit like that? And she kicked you in the balls, and so now she's like, "Oh, she's not mad at me." Okay, but this is week 2 now of this she ain't mad at me shit.
Yeah,
He's
is
making plans for everyone. Oh, I'm gonna be in the tag team match.
It's badly written. Are they trying to imply that she's been punishing him
Yes.
every week since
Yes.
then?
Yes.
And like, yeah, and he's too dense to understand.
You
He's
want
pretty
to
frail and-
know what notes I put down for this?
nothing.
Who cares? Who cares? That's all I put down.
Because this is the
Who
only
cares?
like look, this is what I'm saying. Okay, what's been carrying story wise for like the last like year? The storyline of CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. So every week it was like, I wonder what's next. Like it was the only story because Judgment Day and that wasn't really carrying. There was a couple maybe the what's the guys the Wyatt Six, but there wasn't too many stories. Right now they have like not too many stories, so the Judgment Day is like the only like legit as far as
They
it's
don't
long term. But
they don't really have a story. Like right now,
I know, that's what I'm trying to see
So
what-
right now, their story is
There's nothing else on
well,
Raw.
No, their story literally is the breakup of Judgment Day and like
Right.
you know like all the rifts forming between them, but also it's so drawn out and boring that I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Okay, I felt that way about Raw before, plenty of times. Where I'd be like, hey,
Sure.
I don't. Yeah, the whole show. Like I'm not even about
Sure,
to watch it. You know what I'm
sure.
saying? But you soldier on, and then you'll find some jewels in there, and that's why with this schedule, I'm just like I'm waiting to see. You know, you see what's the Esteban motherfucker, the thing who would be eating the apples.
Oh, Carlito.
He been trying to get up on Rodriguez, the girl. She be pushing, get off of me.
Sure.
Well, it was like a sexual assault.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, straight up sexual assault.
Sounds par for the course.
Because he's from that old school. He's from like 2009.
Yeah, he's from Puerto Rico.
I go to Puerto Rico once a year to visit my hubcaps.
At 1 hour and 22 seconds, because that was about a 2-minute sketch, we had a whole recap about Lyra Valkyria winning last week. We saw that skit where she power bombed her off of the fucking, or she suplexed her off of the whatchamacallit. So I just shout out to that little bump there. That was a wild bump. And then at 1 minute and 29 seconds, we got Seth Rollins and Sammy, the garbage man, the trash man, Zayn, and they meet up backstage. And they're like, you know what? I saw that slick shit you was saying to me last week, bro. Square up. What's up? And so he's like, hey, I got your back. You know, if you need something, I got you. Which would be valuable later because Seth Rollins would need help later on that night.
Was that when you were trying to say that you think he's scheming because of some colors he was wearing when he was talking to him?
Who was scheming?
Who is it? Was it Seth Rollins? No. I don't remember now.
No, I don't know.
He got in the ring and was actually, instead of challenging him, he was telling him he believed in him and that he deserved
Oh, no,
it.
that was KO.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he was wearing, what's that, Bret Hart. He was wearing Bret Hart gloves.
Oh,
All right, so after that little thing right there, we got, at 1 hour and 30 minutes, Penta versus Butch. Sean, talk to me about their choice of using. Why did I call him Butch? That's so disrespectful. I don't know why. Like I put Butch.
Yeah, his name's Pete Dunne.
I put Butch in the notes.
Of course.
Oh, I get it.
Dog, I put Butch in the notes. That's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro.
Just a look on your face, like what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Why
told you-
everyone's got some kind of a weird nickname or play on words, and he's just Pete Dunne.
Well,
No, his name is Pete Dunne.
Okay. So
There you go.
back when Vince was in control,
Yeah, he called him Butch, right?
yeah, he brought him up to the main roster, and he's like, okay, well, you're going to be with Sheamus and this other guy who keeps on injuring people, and we're going to call you Butch. So like this guy that like was established as under his name Pete Dunne, been wrestling in the Indies as Pete Dunne, wrestled NXT UK as Pete Dunne, NXT as Pete Dunne, has the same bruiserweight character this entire time, comes up to the main roster, and it's like, now you're a little fighting barroom
Why,
guy
like
named Butch.
completely changed his character?
Completely changed his character.
Okay,
changed his name, and then because Triple H wants to get back to a lot of the characters that he developed and a lot of the wrestlers that he developed when he was running NXT, decided, okay, well, what if your character just really hates the old name Butch? And you just get violently angry anytime anybody calls you by that name.
Well, just to call back to it?
Yeah, but like that's become his whole character now because they're not doing anything else with him.
Well, I never seen him before until tonight, and my first thought was like, he looks like a classic hobo. Like
Sami Zayn?
No, a fucking Pete Dunne. Like
No,
so.
Sami Zayn looks like a modern hobo.
Okay, fair.
But yeah,
Sami
like
Zayn, the
it
modern
would
hobo.
have been funny if they called him like Boxcar Willie or something like that. Like he took a hobo moniker of some sort. You know, and he would fight by his hobo code.
This is what it is, bro. He's not a hobo. What he is a UK junkie. Like you know,
think-
train spotting or something like that. He's a UK junkie.
I think out of everybody on the roster, he's probably like one of the only ones that could legit beat the shit out of us.
I don't know, man. Hey, I ain't gonna make me get
It's-
close. I'm like,
I'm
bow.
He's like one of those guys that I'm like legit afraid of.
The hobo?
Yeah.
Now I gotta say this right off the jump before the match even start. Penta fucking intro. That intro is phenomenal. Real sparklers, real shit, like real, not just CG shit. I was like, this is how you take a guy, because I told you he came from AEW. And I think they're really trying to rub it in AEW. Like, you didn't give him no kind of love. You didn't give him no. And now we sold 1 million masks. We've sold 1 million T-shirts.
Why are they separate companies?
Yes.
Okay, so they're competing.
Yes.
Well, or is it?
AEW is competing with WWE. WWE is not competing
Okay.
with AEW.
But what? But WWE can grab talent from them, almost like their college and WWE's professional?
No, in this way, okay.
Or is it like what is that? AAA baseball versus?
No, it's
No.
more. It's not even akin to any of that because maybe the AFL and the NFL. Maybe I don't know.
What is the
No.
AFL?
American Football League?
Is that different from the NFL?
Yeah, it might not be called the American Football
Well,
League.
what is it? It's just like a
No,
separate
you're
private.
thinking of arena football?
No, this is a thing. They're about to start their season next month.
Remember, didn't somebody try to
It
start?
was on TV.
Wasn't there like I thought it was Vince McMahon tried to do some kind of extreme football at some point.
We're not going to get into the XFL today
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we
Okay.
don't have 16 hours.
Look, this is what I'll say.
Well,
This is what I'll
I
say.
said my piece.
Look, the WWE has all this money because of longevity and stuff like that, and they can make moves. AEW,
And exploitation.
Yeah, AEW has a rich owner whose dad owns the fucking several things. He's a billionaire.
Jackson
So when
He
you
owns a dealership.
so he
I
has
can do
the
whatever
money.
I want in this wrestling company. My dad
So
owns a dealership,
he can-
man.
Yeah, the Penta intro, Real Pyro, great intro. We were talking about, AEW is, again, they have their own thing, but because of the money that they have, here's the key. People who leave WWE, they can come there and kind of get like, maybe not more, but sometimes more. There's this girl named Sasha Banks who came from WWE, bro. She's the highest paid, I think, female wrestler. Not all wrestler, right? She can't be the highest paid wrestler. I think it's female wrestler, but she got a check from AEW
if not, she's up there though.
she's definitely the highest female for sure. But I don't know
Well,
if it's
yeah,
wrestler or
but
female.
she's, like,
but
probably, like,
regardless,
she's probably, like,
he
top
got
3.
money. So because of that, now WWE wrestlers are getting paid more.
So is it like the AEW? They can be like, hey, when somebody's getting shafted at the WWE,
Yes.
we can
Yes.
scoop them up
Yes.
because they're bitter.
And-
And then the WWE is like, well, we can always offer more money. So if they have somebody good, we can steal one of their people.
Kinda, yeah.
So it's sort of a give and take,
Yeah.
an ebb and,
and that's
flow, a
low-key
yin and
what it
yang,
is. Yeah.
All right.
a Martin and Lewis.
So
When
basically,
you want.
that's so they got this new fresh AEW toy, and they're like, "Well, we're about to shine him up," and then boom, 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 and so now we got him versus Pete Dunne. Do you have any notes about the match, Lou?
The Mario jump, right in the beginning, like Penta did this Mario jump as he bounced off the ropes and was coming at him, the hobo, and Penta just goes boing like right over him. That was pretty impressive.
He jumped right over him. I thought.
Well, then
there was-
he broke his fingers, right?
He did the finger break.
Yeah, he does.
I
digit
explained to him
manipulation.
about the noise when it's like no noise out there, and it really sounds like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have any notes because I was bored as shit.
I
Yeah,
have-
yeah, it was pretty standard.
I was
So
bored as
there was
shit.
a backbreaker power bomb counter.
Was that when he did the
Penta
backflip? No, not-
no. It's this
Dunn did a
where
backflip.
like I think like Dunn had his arm and then he like lifted him up, and then like instead of throwing him down for a power bomb, he like had his legs up, so it turned it like just slammed him onto his own knees.
I don't remember that. So what? It went wrong. It botched.
No, that's how it was supposed to go, and it looked brutal as fuck.
Oh, well.
I will say that.
I did notice he was doing a lot of he would turn his neck in when he would go down so he can roll.
Yeah.
Like to
You
keep
have
himself.
to.
Yeah.
They're trained
But
to take tuck your head. And
If I remember
do it, but-
correctly, though, that's kind of like what I noticed is that it was too obvious. Like I don't know. I've seen it done before where you don't even notice because it's so quick and like.
Bret Hart.
And sometimes though you can tell like when they're not gelling right, where they're like. They're consciously thinking about landing properly that
Yeah.
it's actually noticeable.
Yeah.
So
I will say that for some of those technical moves that Penta wanted to do, I feel like if there's someone who knows like the science of beats I'm saying of beats, I'm thinking of hip hop and shit, but the science of like what you're doing on there, Pete Dunne was a good choice. He hasn't got no love on TV for a while, so I used to be a supporter, not so much a fan, like a supporter. He fell off, so but it's like I see you. Hopefully they do something good with him again. Do I want to see the strap on him?
well, see, no, but all I kept thinking about though the whole time is like we need a hobo character.
You got Sami Zayn, bro. How many hobos you need?
What, Sam? Who's that? Are you saying
Garbage man.
that's not a hobo?
Him, Sami Zayn, the guy who was with KO, and KO tried to manipulate him. He's got the beard.
Yeah,
red hair.
yeah. That's not a hobo.
What is that?
That's probably the nicest
Janitor.
thing you said.
No, if I remember,
Sammy's not a hobo.
no, I think I wrote
a
something.
janitor.
I did write something about him. He looks like a barista from San Francisco.
Really?
Yeah, not like a
janitor.
Not a garbage man.
I literally have in my notes. that
Janitors
Sami
aren't
Zayn-
garbage men.
I literally have in my notes that Sami Zayn looks homeless.
no, I'm thinking of garbage man. Is that Sami Zayn?
Yes.
Yeah. He looks like he's got the man bun and everything. He looks like
Bro.
a California barista. Like
Bro.
he don't look. I mean, that's,
Baristas
He said, I
can't
put it
grow
in my
beards
notes that he
big.
looked like a homeless
yeah.
man.
Come on, yeah, they can.
No, they can't.
And the beard would
Lou.
not be that groomed as if he was a
Lou,
hobo.
he put it in his notes that he looked like a homeless man.
Who did?
I did.
Today?
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think he looked like a barista
oh, no,
from
I
San
didn't say,
Francisco.
I didn't
listen,
say he
you
looked
don't
like a
have to
homeless
think
man.
so.
I said he was dressed as a homeless man.
Okay, I'm talking about looks. So
What's the fucking difference
he-
between looks and dress?
the looks is everything. I'm saying that
He
the
looks
Dunn
he
looks like
he
a
looks
hobo.
like a hipster trying to look like a South American dictator. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, or a barista.
Or a janitor.
No, but
If you're in high school and you're like, hey, can you go ask him to see if he got any cigarettes? That motherfucker would look like Sami Zayn.
look, the point I'm making is that Dunn looking like a hobo, a classic hobo to me, made me want the WWE to have a hobo character.
And you're just the man for the job.
Yeah, right. No, I would need long hair and everything. But like
I mean, wigs are a thing that exists.
a guy who learned how to fight in the alleyways, like for
In the
half a pack of
alleyways,
cottage
that's all he
cheese.
I'm
learned.
the trash man.
He learned how to fight in the alleyways. I dig it.
I get in the ring and I eat a bunch
and
of trash.
Yeah, and he has
Get out of here, you homeless bum!
yeah, he has like a hobo code that he lives by.
By every bone of chicken that I find.
His entrance.
He's got hobo rules, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, with that.
his
you do
entrance-
not come into my box after 2 a.m.
His entrance, a boxcar shows up on stage
Mm-hmm.
and he comes out.
Right.
He throws cans of beans to the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. Mayonnaise jars with like raw fish that he just gutted from like the river.
Walks down to the ring with his bindle.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
where I keep my lunch.
So this Logan Paul promo thing.
Oh no!
You gotta say,
Oh no! He's using a foreign object. He's attacking his opponent with the bindle.
yeah, they had Logan Paul. That's my guy, man.
Yeah. So I'm guessing because everyone. I mean.
Wait, Penta won, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's glazed over that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because it was
Penta
a
won.
boring fight.
Yeah,
So-
it was boring as fuck. But salute
I
to
like
the dudes.
I like the match. For what
Fair
it's
enough.
worth, I like the match.
At 1 minute and 43 seconds.
What? That's when we
Logan
have the Logan
Paul.
Paul. So I'm guessing he's doing this promo to purposely piss people off or whatever. But according to this, he claims he's king of the internet, or he says he was king of the internet.
He
Like,
was. I mean,
And
that's
no,
what I've
he
heard.
was
That's what
not.
I've heard. That's what
No,
I've heard.
no.
I can't
He was
say
he
that
was
he was
the most
but-
hated person on the internet for a while. But then I don't get this part. He says he's the only man to ever beat Floyd Mayweather.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't
Did they-
remember any of it.
did they
because
wrestle?
I just kind of went into a fugue state.
I know, but did they
it's
wrestle before?
I saw red, and then I woke up, and it was over.
Did they have like a wrestling match or something? Because I know he didn't. He's not talking about boxing.
Not in WWE.
So that is just more annoying that if it's a fake wrestling thing and then he's like bragging about being the only man to
He did beat Floyd Mayweather.
in a wrestling.
No, it was
Off in the locker room?
No, it was in a boxing match.
Maybe he was talking about Scrabble or something.
Boxing Scrabble. All right. Well, I don't know why I put good after that. I don't know. Did something happen that was good? Maybe I was like trying to type in something. I don't know. 1 hour
Are you
46
talking
minutes.
about the donut you just ate?
Good.
Yeah, I better write this down and take a note.
1 hour 46 minutes. CM Punk promo. Boring.
Yep, nothing to say.
He mentioned Hulk Hogan, your favorite.
I didn't hear any of it.
He's just running down. It's just typical boring ass Royal Rumble promo.
Royal Rumple.
Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble promo where he's just like naming people off who've declared for the Royal Rumble and just like, oh, I'm gonna beat them.
I'm getting sick of seeing him, and it's only been 3 weeks. Like when he's not fighting, he's there talking about some stupid shit.
In, motherfucker.
And then what? There was some kind of it was a tag team thing that happened with broads, right?
Pure Fusion Collective.
Yeah,
I
I
think
put down
that's
Pure Garbage Collective
PFC.
and Damage Catarl.
Yeah. My only note was from the Fusion Collective. Woman had a midget's head. She had like the oversized forehead.
Mongoloid.
Like her head was like a midget's head, but it was on like a normal body. And then I remember absolutely nothing from it because women suck and it's boring.
I put down Io Sky is the only reason to watch this match.
I put match of the night. It really struck my creativity. I felt like there was a lot that people could have learned really about the history of wrestling if they really paid attention
And about
to the
women.
moves. Beyond women, it was beyond gender. It was the highlight of the year. I can say there's going to be a top 10 match in the
Very cool.
Very.
That went on until the start of our second best match of the night. It was 2 hours and 14 minutes. We got Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, and the only note I have from there is who won, because I didn't watch it. It was boring.
I forgot to write anything down.
I was working out at that point. I was trying to get my shoulders
None
in.
of us watched the last match.
Didn't they already do it?
Yeah.
No.
Or no,
it's-
McIntyre was yelling at Seth Rollins, right? That was
Yeah.
what happened last week or the week
Yeah.
before.
So
There
like
was a
they've been
three-way reel, 3-8.
they've been like feuding forever.
The
and
things
they've had
start
so
to
many goddamn
overlap.
matches in the past that it's like who cares at this point. But like the only thing to kind of take away from this from a storyline perspective is that is the way McIntyre lost. Because he got rolled up for like the second week in a row.
Same
or
way
whatever.
Jay did him.
Not exactly the same.
Oh,
way,
I do remember
but-
that. I
but
do,
very
yeah.
He did him
similar.
the same way.
Well, at least there's some consistency there.
Yeah. Like
don't know what
Drew
the character
McIntyre's
is.
character can't get out of his own way. So he keeps losing.
I was not dazzled this Monday night.
It was a dreary. It
So,
was-
but
I
you
think
were-
last week was a 50-50.
you weren't dazzled, but were you razzled?
No.
You weren't razzled or dazzled?
I was fizzled.
Oh,
You know the one thing I was
As in
thinking.
the whole thing just fizzled out for me.
The one thing.
And
that,
yet I was more alert this week than I was last week.
right. What the kratom?
Yeah.
Question: did you guys remember what they were saying? Something about this Saturday, some kind of event that was going to be like in the main this Saturday. Did you guys catch the card? Do you know who's performing for there? It's a
You know,
PLE.
I mean, that's not my department. I still don't. I mean, I don't even know what that is. The only thing I know is that friend of the show, Jesse Ventura, is generally my go-to for that.
You fuck with Jesse?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well damn. If you got a connection, can we possibly? Can we talk? We
So
got on
hey,
speaker. We got on
listen,
speaker,
listen,
yeah.
guys. I'm here to promote Saturday night's main event by running down the card.
Jesse, you sound great, man. What are you eating in the morning, man?
Your mother.
But my mom's dead.
Let me get through this real quick.
My mom's dead.
So we have first up we have Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. The man who loves Solo Sikoa versus a man with a face only his mother could love.
Okay, I see what you did there, Jesse. Keep
what was
going,
it?
Jesse.
Jacob Vatu? What?
Jacob Fatu.
Oh, I thought he said Eric.
All I really know about him is that he loves Solo Sikoa.
Okay, bet. Yeah. Who do you think is going to take that one?
Sequoia, like the Indians?
Yeah.
Sikoa.
Oh.
Okay, is it Jacob or who's the other guy you fighting?
Braun Strowman.
Oh, it's a giant. It's a giant.
I mean, why are you looking over there? Look at your phone when you.
You're right. Jesse, listen, Lou, it's a giant going against a Wolverine. Who do you think is going to win? A Wolverine or a giant?
My dad always told me. My dad says that Wolverines can actually take on a bear. That bears will actually avoid Wolverines because of how rough they are. So I would have to say the Wolverine. I don't know who
Jesse?
you're talking about, but
We'll find out this Saturday night
okay.
at Saturday night's main event. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship.
You all right over there, Jesse?
I'm sorry, what?
You all right over there?
Yeah, let me finish this.
Okay, go ahead, Jesse. I just want to make sure.
Quit interrupting me.
Jesse.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay, then. The Intercontinental Championship match. Will Sheamus finish his 5-year quest to finally become Intercontinental Champion for the first time?
What is
Or will he be defeated or will the brawny man break him by the name of Braun Breaker?
Brawny
screwed
man.
that up.
Braun Breaker.
What does intercontinental mean? Is that like within our continent?
No, it means multiple continents.
Well, okay, but why don't they say outer continental?
Yeah, is it with
Because
an
it's
E or an I?
intercontinental, meaning the United States, Canada, Mexico, and the other Americas.
Oh, so it's that's what they mean though by continent, by the American continent.
Yeah, I thought that was like a German, like it was like a overseas thing. I guess that's
Yeah,
the
so
European.
it's just
Is that
it's
European?
Well,
yeah.
the Americas.
Okay,
North America, South America.
right.
That's 2 continents.
But then what is it called when you're dealing with the entire world? Is it extra continental?
Extra continental. I feel like that's what it is. That's what it probably actually is. It's
The WWE Women's World Championship match. Will Rhea Ripley defeat the, she makes me tired just by looking at her, Nia Jax?
Yes. I mean, from what I've seen, she has to.
The match got made
If
today.
they let a fatso win, like it's just not.
She has that's muscle underneath there.
Yeah.
You ever seen that show that video game Tekken? He's got that character Bob. He's a big guy, but he's the fastest guy in the game.
Well, sumo wrestlers have like muscle.
That's
under
what I'm
them.
talking about.
But
I
she doesn't.
I
move.
don't play video games. Then we have the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match. The Ring General Gunter versus challenger Jay Main Event Uso on Saturday night's main event.
Jesse,
How much more time do they have for this season or whatever you want to call it?
about 2 months.
Will they fight again after this Saturday?
Who?
Uso and Gunther.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Well, he's right. Jesse's got a point there.
I'm trying to make a prediction. So, like, they're not going to fight again?
They have the Royal Rumble.
That's this Saturday?
That's in 2 weeks.
But what's this Saturday? Main event?
Main event. That's where he's going to
Saturday night's main event.
When can Uso take the belt?
There's 2 chances for him to do it. One is going to be right here.
This Saturday.
Yes. The second is going to be the month after the Royal Rumble.
Okay,
There's
then-
another thing called the
Then
Elimination Chamber.
Gunter will win this Saturday.
And you think they're going to... No.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna drag it out right to the end.
Do you guys think that was enough action?
I don't
Well,
know.
too bad. There's more. The main event. You've never seen action like this as WWE Undisputed Champion Cody Rhodes goes up against the prize fighter Kevin Owens
Jesse,
in a contract signing.
Okay, that sounds... yes.
Yeah, I didn't
Jesse-
understand that.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jesse.
Watch in amazement as 2 grown men do paperwork in the middle of the ring. Will one of them run out of ink?
Okay, but I understand that it was too much. There was too much spectacular shit going on. There's too much testosterone, so they had to bring somebody in there to mediate between them, between these two.
Yes, the
mega-
Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, as special referee for this contract signing. I predict everything will go smoothly and there will be no violence whatsoever.
See, this is not winning me over. Like,
All this and more on Saturday night's main event.
are we gonna cover that or?
I don't know. It depends. We'll see.
All
how
right,
well
guys,
this
I
does.
did my job. Check. I'm getting paid for this, right?
Jesse, yeah, just check the facts. We told you, just check the facts, okay?
You better pay me.
We're sending.
You better pay
We're
me.
gonna send it via drone. It's new technology.
Don't be like that rat Hulk Hogan. Don't you stooge me out.
Well, I mean, we're gonna send it via drone, right?
Are you talking to Vince McMahon behind my back?
You know, Jesse brings up a good point. I've been saying,
You know what? I'll talk to you later.
Jesse,
but you pissed him off.
I didn't say anything to him.
Okay,
Jesse.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Hey.
Did I miss anything?
yeah, Jesse, he hung up on us.
Fucking
I
asshole.
missed him again.
I wanted to make a good point because Jesse makes a good point about how he tried to form a union and Hulk Hogan ratted him out and everyone else and everything.
I never heard that.
Well, what's been happening in wrestling since then? Wrestling is 8 times as large as it was when I was a kid and I first knew about it. The amount of money that's going into this, and so it's still insane to me that these guys still haven't formed a union yet.
Okay, here's the question I have to counteract that. The guys that I fuck with, Technical Work Rate Productions, what they are saying is that what wrestling is saying, what WWE is saying is that they're in a boom. They're in a boom period right now. They're across all the places around the world. They're doing bigger numbers. They're breaking their gates every time they do a new thing. But
Well, then they should be able to afford health insurance.
right. But
Yeah.
what Technical Work Rate Productions is saying is that
I mean, the referees should have their own union.
they're not doing all these things that they're saying because you can see certain Monday Night Raws and certain SmackDowns where it says to sell out, but there's countless.
Okay.
Nobody's
But you-
promising
like-
them
but
millions of
you're
dollars.
saying
I'm
these
saying
things are
So
happening.
you have to understand that just because they're not selling out like they're saying that they are doesn't mean that they're not making record profits bigger than they've ever made
Yeah,
before.
think about
with all the deals with the deals that they've made with Fox, with the
marketing.
deals that they've made with Netflix, with the deals that they've been making with Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They have enough money to actually hire these wrestlers not as contract
Who gets-
contract workers, but as actual employees,
Right.
and offer them benefits.
who gets the money when they peddle the T-shirts every time there's a commercial break? Like
Yeah.
like the
Depends
the,
on whose
the, the
T-shirt it is.
merchandise alone.
Part of the contracts that they sign is that a small portion goes to the wrestler, bulk of it goes to the WWE. If they do stuff that's outside of pro wrestling, a certain amount of that money has to get kicked back to the WWE because of licensing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then they also get a check from WWE whenever.
Well,
WWE
it's basically they
uses
have
their
no
likeness and
rights.
They
stuff.
definitely should have some kind of a pension fund because
Yeah.
you can only do this work. And granted, it's probably gotten safer now, but you can only do this work for so long. Like, I mean, not knowing anything about wrestling, and I watched the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
I don't know. You saw two men that were at least in their 40s wrestle tonight against each other.
Well, because it's safer now. I don't know if they could have done. I mean, those guys were dinged up by their 40s back in the 80s and 90s, but like I'm saying, like they should have a pension because you can only do it for so long if you want to be safe about it. Who knows if they're still pressuring people into doing like you better do this thing, or else you're not going to be our favorite this year, and you might get bumped down. Like I guarantee you, there's some kind of like manipulation and exploitation still going on.
Yeah.
And so it's just like I'm talking about a baseline that I'm sure every single fan of wrestling could get behind. Some kind of a baseline that keeps them above a certain amount, because you that's going to give them both dignity and pride as well if they know that they're always going to be, they can never fall below this certain line, a certain standard. But all of them are going to have to consider healthcare and retirement and all that
Well,
stuff.
that's something that I was kind of hoping AEW was going to do when they started off, but instead they just adopted WWE's model.
Right. Probably out of desperation. They're scrambling, self-preservation.
Well, no, when they first started,
Okay, but
they weren't scrambling when they first started, but they could have hired people on as actual employees.
I just wanted to ask you: do you think that wrestling is in a boom period? Do you think that?
Yes, but it's been in my opinion, it's been in a boom for almost
Here's
a
my
decade.
question. Let me ask you. Let me just ask you. You tell me if this is fair or not. You tell me. Can you name these people, or do you know who these people
Well,
are?
I mean, I remember like The Rock, John Cena.
No.
Blah, blah, blah.
I'm talking about right now. We're talking about the boom right now. Not that boom. So.
Well, I mean, the people right now have not starred in anything with a talking animal.
Did you know who CM Punk was before 3 weeks ago?
No.
Wrestling is not. Wrestling is in a boom within a vacuum. Within the community, it's in a boom. All the people who are in the community, but maybe
No,
they
it's
stopped
not-
watching.
They're making a fortune though.
They are making a fortune.
So
because
it's
people are
not reached.
fans.
It's not reached the heights of like pop culture that it once had.
They're gonna
back
have
in
a
the
harder-
90s.
they're gonna have a harder
But it's
time-
like you can probably name like 10 or 20 wrestlers from the 90s that he has no idea who they are
But I can name
Because they
20
aren't
that
the
he
big-
does.
because they aren't the big names though. Well, the ones that he remember, the
No,
ones that
he'll
he
remember.
knows.
He'll remember the Junkyard Dog. He'll remember the motherfucking Coco Beware. These are the jobbers.
The ones
These
I
are the-
remember would be like, what was it? The $1 Million Man,
Right, Jobber.
Fred Savage.
Jobber.
No, what's
I mean, like that wasn't even when wrestling was at its.
I love Fred Savage.
who am I thinking of? Savage something.
Randy
Savage.
Macho
Savage.
Man Randy
It's
Savage.
Randy is his
Okay.
brother, Fred's brother.
A skag baron named Savage Henry.
Yeah, but I mean that was a time,
this
man.
off,
I mean,
man.
Even if you're a jobber back in the day, you're still memorable. Nowadays, it's just
But
anybody
like,
can
but
do
like
it,
you're
know?
like
But it's still not booming, I
You're
don't
talking
think.
about like the
Undertaker?
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm talking about like the Attitude Era when it really reached its zenith.
Where everyone was either
are you
saying
talking- is
"suck
that the
it"
era
or
where it's
you know
The
what I'm
Rock and
saying?
Cena?
Like,
Yeah,
and all them?
well, Cena came later, but it was like The Rock and Mankind and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I could probably name about 20 wrestlers that you've never even heard of.
I mean, I know Stone
When's,
Cold,
when's the
Triple
last
H.
time? When's the last time you seen someone wearing a WWE shirt? Because if it was 1990 or 2000, you'd be
yeah,
like
when was the
earlier
last
today.
time you saw somebody wearing a WWE
Oh,
shirt?
I know where at a comic book store during Magic the Gathering night. That's
Yeah, because you're not staring at somebody wearing a WWE shirt right now.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, but I'm saying, you know, it's like in the 90s and in
For
the
the fan at
2000s,
home.
there was a definite boom that where it was everywhere. You couldn't escape wrestling, and you had to know the players. You knew The
No.
Rock, you knew the Triple H.
No, I think
maybe
it's-
not everyone knew. You think Triple H was out there like that? Because the suck it shit. But
Okay, you know,
I
do you
mean-
know how?
but everyone
But
knew
like
The Rock.
I'm just trying to illustrate my point though.
Do you know how
Which is
like
that,
you have?
like it can be in a boom, but like there might be people that people never heard of.
They're not the people showing up to the seats that I see in the 3 weeks in a row now are not going anywhere. And the worst, they're indoctrinating their children too.
yeah.
Like,
Indoctrinating.
Yes.
So you're saying we belong to us fans belong to a cult now?
So it's a guaranteed renewal of fans. I think the business has grown to a point where it will not go back. It's going to be this or more.
Yeah, exactly. They want more. So I got NXT, and then they got this new show called Speed, which is on X.
Which nobody watches.
I don't know.
What, yeah, on Twitter, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, anyone who would try to do a show on Twitter is a fucking joke.
They've tried to do shows on
Facebook?
On Facebook before. Well, was that the mixed match challenge?
Mixed Max Challenge. Jesus.
But again, they have the capital to
Yeah.
dabble in all that crap
kinda
and
miss
lose
it now.
and,
Yeah.
and be
Yeah.
totally
I kind of
blind.
missed the Mixed
Yes.
Match Challenge now. I don't know why, bro. It's
Like, that's a
stupid.
sign that
Because
they're
there was
doing
some
well.
fun. There was some fun stuff
because it
that
was
came out
something
of
different. It's like watching What If on some Marvel shit.
Yeah.
But you know, what if these people were tag team? Okay, bet. But again, I
What
think
if
that
these people tag team? What if our truth
this will
was
be the
a
last
good wrestler?
time.
Yeah.
I just feel like if you if you consider the people back in the 2000s, it's like you had to know who Stone Cold was. You had to know who The Rock was. Now maybe all the guys like Mr. Ass or even Edge.
Wait, who had to know?
Christian, like
Me?
a person,
A
like
guy outside?
a person, just in the world. You had to
I know,
like
I don't,
you
I don't
couldn't
know if you had
exist,
to.
but like
I think people who like wrestling would know them, and that's all they
Bro,
want.
if you went to
were
high
they-
school,
Were they filling the seats?
bro.
I mean, I know who Triple
If you
H.
went to high
and-
school, motherfuckers gonna be having blatant Stone Cold. You couldn't. That's like saying I've never seen Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah,
No,
but he
mother,
knows-
open
he
your
knows
eyes.
who-
It's right
he
there.
knows who Stone Cold Steve Austin
That's
is.
what I'm
and
saying.
Triple H and The Rock and John Cena. So
Okay, but you had to. That's what.
Well,
it's like,
I didn't
Oh, you
have
didn't
to.
see Jurassic Park? No.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned,
Go see
it's
it.
always
No.
been a select group
had
of
to.
between 5 to 10 popular people from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, 2010s. In my opinion, like I've withdrawn. I didn't own a TV for nearly 10 years. Never had cable TV, so I'm not even the best example to go off of that. But I guarantee you, like your average jerk off would know who at least 5 people are in every single generation of wrestling since the 1980s.
People still don't know who Roman Reigns is. I doubt you even know who Roman Reigns is.
I haven't seen him yet, But I know
'cause
that
he's on
that
SmackDown.
when I was talking to
You seen him open up Raw on Smack on Netflix.
When I
He
was-
was the very first match.
when I was talking to
Oh,
that
yeah,
guy in the
that's right. That's
Snapchat
right.
thing,
That's
the
right.
fat chick that was with him said, "Oh, I like." Because when I told her what we were doing tonight, I like Roman Reigns. I don't think she even watches wrestling, but she knew who he was.
Yeah.
So
That's a good example still too. But again, that's one for each one. One for
I've gotten into conversations with strangers at bars about Roman Reigns.
I think the only way you're going to see a drop if they do a drone thing and there's a bunch of empty seats, it's going to be an example of the state of our economy. That's the only way I'm going to see a
Yeah.
drop of seats.
Okay.
So like I think they've secured their community and like it's not going anywhere. It's not going to drop. It's going to either remain.
that's what I'm
this-
saying. But if it's a boom, it should grow. Fuck dropping.
it's been booming.
booming within the vacuum.
What vacuum? I mean, the business itself has been consistently
So
booming
what would
from
you
the 80s
consider?
on up.
What would you consider booming?
Okay, what I would consider a boom here, and I'm not trying to be okay. The Rock hosted Saturday Night Live, so and that's just one example. Like Bret the Hitman Hart was on The Simpsons, and I think John Cena was too. I could go on. If we're not seeing these things, you'll see like, oh, Sheamus was at the Chicago Bears game. Like, okay, and when he threw a ball like that's cool. But like,
well,
that's
Sheamus
not,
was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, right?
yeah.
And Roddy Piper was in what? Two
Well,
John
Hell
Carpenter
Comes to
films?
Hell Comes to
Frogtown and Spacemans Who Look Like People movie.
They live.
Yes.
And I'm thinking more like, things that people are watching, like right now people maybe aren't even watching Saturday Night Live, but why isn't Roman Reigns on Saturday Night Live?
Is he
Probably 'cause
ugly?
No. Girls
Is he a
like
bad
him.
actor?
Girls like, yes, he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, that's why then.
But
I'm
you-
sure
you
because
know
I'm
he's
guarantee
But
you-
he's the star, he's the guy.
I know, but he's a terrible actor.
You know he's like been on like the Tonight Show several times, right?
Yeah.
That's
As
the thing.
a-
It would not. His agent would tell him, "Do not do Saturday Night Live because you can't remember lines and you're terrible." Because I guarantee you, the SNL that had The Rock on was what most people tuned out of
So
that.
wasn't Roman Reigns?
What? No,
wasn't-
people watch The Rock on that.
I don't know.
wasn't-
I mean, I'm
wasn't
sure he
Roman
sucked.
Reigns, wasn't Roman Reigns in one of the Fast and Furious movies?
He was in Hobbs and Shaw because The Rock was Hobbs or he was Shaw. I don't know which one he was, but because of that, yeah.
In my
Close
opinion, The
strings.
Rock's been in way too much. I mean,
Well, yeah.
to me, he's box office. Like, I don't know how well the movies do, but I immediately go, "That movie's gonna be shit." Same thing with Kevin Hart. Second Kevin Hart's on a movie, I do
Kevin
watch
Hart,
it.
more like Kevin Fart. Am I right?
Yeah.
I feel
Am I
like
right?
I agree. Like The Rock being in all these movies isn't a bad thing. The Rock being The Rock in all these movies is the bad thing. Like if he could just be somebody else, if he could just like the closest that I've seen, and I could be 100% off, that I've seen him play a different character that didn't feel like The Rock was Pain and Gain, because he was a fucking druggy loser who was enchanted in this fucking bullshit, and he was like kind of a coward, and you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just like, so what we gotta do?
Oh yeah, yeah,
fuck somebody
that,
up.
that scrunched brow thing that he
Yes,
does
in
yeah.
every movie. you
And
know.
don't forget, like motivational speeches. There was some movie. The trailer was, there's always one motivational speech in a sports movie by the coach.
Yeah.
And when you think you're down, then you got to remember. The whole trailer was 18, like the whole movie was just The Rock saying those stupid, meandering fucking like quotes that people post on Facebook and shit. And just remember, when you're down, lift yourself. All that crap. That stuff that means absolutely nothing unless you're a fucking retard. That's my opinion too. If you need motivational, inspirational quotes on your Facebook page every day and stuff, that's what you need when you wake up to make it through the day. Yourself.
I think that we have to. We're gonna have to cut it right here. Just unalive this broadcast. I think that you make valid points, and as far as I don't know, man. We all got our things for motivation. Some people choose religion. I think that listen, when I work with people,
Yeah,
like
everybody chooses whatever they choose to motivate themselves.
when
but it's still pathetic.
when I work fair, whatever, when I work with Sean, I want to be as close to 100%. When I work with you, I want you to be as close. I want everyone to be great around me. So if this motherfucker went back there and said 7 Hail Marys before he came out here, if you went out there and smoked a cigarette or whatever, whether I like or not like, it doesn't matter. As long as this gets you to be that mastery of who you are, great. Because so many people fumble and fell under pressure. And so whatever you need to get power, fuck it. As long as it ain't fucking up my shit.
I guess that means do drugs.
Right.
If that's what you feel,
that's real.
If that's what you
real
feel like helps
motivational.
you, then boom, and then
That's
you'll go
science.
you'll go see a therapist or a psychologist, and they'll be like, yeah, but why? You're like, oh, because I want to escape. Yeah, but why do you want to escape? Because and then you'll say some shit, and you'll be like, oh damn. It's like, wow, therapy. Okay, guys, let's get the fuck out of here. But let's give me the consensus. We're gonna ask you last, Lou. Give me your consensus on the show, man.
It's fine. It's, standard, boring,
Yeah.
whatever. Just gets us to the next Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, it's a go home show.
Well, the real go home show is going to be next week because that's going to be the go home show for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I don't think there's any matches.
Are we going to do a podcast for the Royal Rumble?
I mean, probably. I mean, it would be smart to do it live.
You're going to make him watch
Why
it?
don't we ask the viewers and they can leave a comment?
Yeah,
and tell
all
us.
5
If
of
you
them.
guys leave a comment, then we'll make sure that we blackmail him
And remember
into
to like
coming
and
on to the
subscribe.
broadcast. I think that today's Raw was a snore. It probably was good because, again, I wasn't here for the matches. So I'm sure if you wanted matches, then yes, Drew versus Seth, and I'm sure Pentagon versus Spangler. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it had the wrestling. So if you needed that, boom. It set up things like they didn't have Lyra Valkyria there, so they do a promo. So
That's fine. She's boring anyway.
Right. So, but we, and then all that shit. And, you got to make Nia look strong right now, which it sucks because she's about to take a loss on Saturday, but maybe there'll be some
it's
fuck
just
shit.
hard to make her look strong when you have to really make her look good.
I mean, she's not Jade Cargill
No, where has she been?
trying to get on
Jade-
Nia's level.
Jade Cargill will save us.
Trying to get on Nia's level because she's not even on Nia's level. But again, looking at the show, I just felt like I watch it a lot more for the story because the wrestling part is cool when it's cool, but because it's not spot monkey fest, the wrestling isn't as it's cool when it's telling a story when it's like, brother, please, and then like Roman had Jey Uso in an I Quit match, but Jey wasn't quitting, so Jimmy, his twin brother, came out, and then he locked Jimmy came out to Roman, was like, Roman, what are you doing? That's your cousin. What are you doing this? And Roman was like, you're right. I'm sorry. And he started crying, of course. Roman
when did this happen?
And he sucked him off right there.
way earlier.
Yeah, like before I'd never seen this. I don't know.
But he's like, he can't act, so he's not really crying.
Right.
And then he puts the chair around or something, whatever he does. He chokes out Jimmy. And here's the thing. Jay was like handcuffed, so he couldn't get to his brother to help him. He couldn't. So Jimmy was being choked out by Roman, and Roman made Jay quit because of his brother.
Yeah, he used
that's
his brother to make him
storytelling. I didn't like the match because of this wrestling move. No, it's because how you use the wrestling move to really tell a story. That is dope. I like that. I'm not saying that the wrestling is bad or fucked up or fake or what. No, that's for who it is. It's cool, but that's just not the reason. Or else I would watch TNA and all the other stuff. Like I'm here
But,
kind of.
like you're not going to see a whole lot of matches like that on the
sure.
on the weekly show.
For sure.
The weekly show is just there to facilitate,
That's why I'll skip
PLEs
to the
and
end.
stuff.
I'll skip. It's a new day, so what kind of conniving shit are they gonna do this
I
week?
mean, like, I'm
okay.
interested to see how the story progresses.
Yeah. I'm gonna skip to the end of the match.
The
but I
matches
didn't
don't
skip.
matter.
I didn't
It's
skip. But
like sometimes things happen in the matches, but usually it's like things that happen at the end of the matches or after the matches.
Yeah.
That's more important for the story. So
yeah, for me.
So last week, if I gave it a solid 50%, I think is what I said.
Yeah.
Then this week was like a 20%. It was not enjoyable. It was boring. And the fact that they had to have like 2 women's matches, it's like, come on, we gave them one. How much more? Like,
What the hell? Just shitting all over all the women's
Yeah,
matches.
well, it
Pure
just
Fusion
dragged it
Collective
down.
is in the top 10 of the
I-
of the year of that tag team match.
why are you always trying to start shit?
You wait.
Why are you always trying to start
You
shit?
wait. Pure Fusion Collective is going to take over. 2025 is the year of Pure Fusion Collective.
Sure,
Stamp it.
sure. Because they are
Stamp it.
built up to be credible badasses.
All
at this
3 of those
point.
women could kick our asses right now.
Legitimately, sure.
love me tender, love me
Thanks
sweet.
everyone for watching our
Never
broadcast about Netflix
me
Raw
go.
with Sean and Louie. I'm
You
here.
have
This is
Wait,
made
it was,
my
on,
life.
it was on Netflix?
Yeah, you didn't know that. They didn't promote it.
And
I like to say that this
love
is
you
brought to you by
so.
Sewer Shack. We like
Sewer
to definitely, yeah. Sewer Shack is where you can get yourself a riblet of, oh, he's walking out. a riblet of alligator ribs.
Louis has walked out of the bed.
He's walked out. That's fine. We're gonna walk out too. So, Sean, thank you for coming through.
You're welcome.
We're out of here, guys. Be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. Damn, Pete.